You did the hard part. You already set the boundary. You spoke up for yourself. You made the decision to protect your peace. And now, now you feel off. Maybe you're questioning yourself. Maybe you're feeling guilty. Maybe you're dealing with some major pushback from others. And that's okay, because setting boundaries isn't about drawing a line. It's about what happens after. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. What do you do when standing your ground feels lonely? And how do you handle the discomfort that creeps in after making the right but hard choice? We're getting into all of that today, and I promise, by the end of this episode, you will have real, practical steps to move forward with confidence. Welcome to And That's Okay, the podcast where we explore the ups and downs of life and remind ourselves that whatever we're feeling, it's for a reason, and that's okay. I'm Lisa Renee Scott, your host and a passionate believer that every feeling matters and every step forward counts. Each week we'll dive into real-life challenges, share relatable experiences, and offer actionable steps to help you navigate through it all. But before we jump in, I want to remind you that I am not a licensed doctor or therapist. I'm here to share experiences and insights that have worked for me and others like me. So you set a boundary. You had the conversation. You made the decision to protect your peace. And for a moment, maybe even longer than a moment, you felt empowered, strong, like, yes, I did that. But then the feelings crept in. Maybe it's guilt. Maybe it's doubt. Maybe someone close to you isn't reacting well, and you're wondering if you should backtrack. Let's talk about it, because this is where a lot of people get stuck. First of all, let's acknowledge something right off the bat. Discomfort is normal. Change, even when it's for the better, can feel weird. If you've spent years, maybe even decades, bending over backward for other people, saying no or I can't do that anymore is going to feel unnatural at first. Your brain might even try to convince you that you did something wrong, but let me remind you that feeling uncomfortable doesn't mean you made the wrong choice. It means you're stepping into something new, something better. I like to call this the boundary hangover. It's that feeling of unease after making a big shift. The morning after setting a boundary, you might feel the emotional equivalent of waking up and thinking, wait, did I do that? And just like a real hangover, your mind starts racing. Was it too harsh? Did I overreact? Should I have just let it slide? But this discomfort, this is growth. And then there's the pushback. Because here's the thing, people who benefited from your lack of boundaries, they're not going to be thrilled with the new version of you that isn't saying yes all the time. They might get upset. They might try to build up a guilt trip around your decision. They might even act confused, like, wait, what? But you've always done this for me. And that can be hard. But just because someone doesn't like your boundary doesn't mean it isn't necessary. Let's take a real life example. Maybe you finally told a friend, hey, I can't be your emotional dumping ground anymore. It's weighing too heavily on me and I have my own stuff that I'm going through. And now they're acting distant, ignoring your text, maybe even throwing a little passive-aggressive comments your way. And you're sitting there thinking, oh no, did I ruin this friendship? But let's ask the real question. If your entire friendship was built on you carrying their emotional weight at the expense of your own, was that really a healthy friendship to begin with? And then there's the loneliness. Oof. This one hits deep because sometimes when you start setting boundaries, you realize just how much of your world was built around people pleasing. And it can feel like you're losing relationships. But let me tell you something. Healthy relationships can handle boundaries. The right people will respect you. The wrong people, they might fade away. And as hard as it is, what's waiting for you on the other side of this freedom is peace. The kind of relationships where you don't have to exhaust yourself to keep them afloat. And when that discomfort hits, try this. Take a deep breath and remind yourself, this is the feeling of growth. I am doing something different, and that's okay. Because the more you sit with that feeling instead of running from it, the more powerful you become. So let's talk about some action steps, because it is a process. I have 5 action steps for you. 1, acknowledge the feeling, name it, and own it. Instead of pushing away guilt or discomfort, lean into it. Say out loud, I feel, whatever it is, guilty. We'll try that one. I feel guilty, but that doesn't mean I did something wrong. When we name our emotions, we take away their power to control us. Write it down in a journal or say to yourself in the mirror. Give yourself permission to feel it and don't let it make your decisions for you. 2, affirm your decision in writing. Go back to the reason why you set this boundary. Write down the situation that led to it all. How did it make you feel? And why is this boundary so necessary? Keep this written affirmation somewhere easy to access, on your phone, in your planner, or on a sticky note near your workplace. When the self-doubt creeps in, revisit it as a reminder that your decision wasn't impulsive. It was an intentional and necessary movement. 3, talk it through with a safe person. Find someone you trust, a friend, a therapist, a mentor, and have an honest conversation. Say, I set this boundary and now I'm struggling with how I feel about it. Can you help me through this process? Let me talk it out with you. Sometimes we need someone outside the situation to remind us that we did the right thing. Choose someone who will validate your experience while also holding you accountable to not backtrack out of guilt. 4, set a 48-hour rule. When you get pushback or feel tempted to undo your boundary, give yourself 48 hours before responding. This prevents knee-jerk reactions based on your emotions. And during this time, I want you to revisit that written affirmation, talk it out with your safe person, and allow yourself time to just sit with the discomfort instead of immediately trying to fix it. It's going to feel awkward and weird, but knowing that ahead of time may make things a little bit easier. And 5, reconnect with yourself. Setting boundaries isn't about saying no to others. It's about saying yes to yourself. And the boundaries are there so that you have time to do those yes things for yourself. Do one small act of self-care that reinforces your worth. Take a walk, journal about how you're feeling, maybe listen to some music that uplifts you. Prioritize yourself in small ways that remind you that your peace is worth protecting. You are not wrong for protecting your peace. You are not a bad person for choosing your well-being. The discomfort you feel is part of the process, not a sign that you should backtrack. Boundaries are a form of self-respect, and you deserve that. Let's go over those steps again. 1, acknowledge your feeling. 2, affirm your decision in writing. 3, talk it through with someone safe. 4, set a 48-hour response time. 5, reconnect with yourself. Each step is here to help you move forward without second-guessing your worth. Standing firm in your boundaries is an act of strength, and yes, it might feel lonely at times, but loneliness fades. Self-respect lasts. You are doing the work, and that is powerful, and that's okay. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of And That's Okay. I hope you found our discussion insightful and that you're leaving with some practical steps to apply in your own life. Remember, no matter what you're feeling or going through, you have feelings, and that's okay. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who might benefit from today's topic. Until next week, take care and keep moving forward, one feeling, one step at a time.